Hey guys, it's October. It's autumn. I'm obvious. I'm doing a special review. To celebrate this month of All Hallows Eve, I will be doing two Halloween themed reviews. This is one of them, if you haven't deduced that. What is a zombie by definition? Well, certain religions believe that a curse can reanimate dead tissue and bring a corpse back to life. That's what you think when you hear zombie, right? Of course it is. Some dead, decaying guy stumbling around moaning and munching on human flesh. Well, in 1968, one man brought the terror of a zombie apocalypse to the big screen for the first real time and inspired a legacy of zombie movies and satires. In 1968, George A. Romero made a piece of film called Night of the Living Dead. For the time, the film was incredibly shocking and graphic, depicting the undead devouring the flesh and organs of the living. Romero shot the film in grainy black and white and on a small budget. He wanted the film to be shocking cinema-wise as well as socially and politically. With various peace movements and the Vietnamese War raging, he also wanted to make something upsetting. As he states in an interview, I thought, how about the dead wouldn't stay dead? You can't stop them, and oh yeah, they eat the living. So let's take a look at the jump start to the zombie genre, Night of the Living Dead. It starts out with siblings Johnny and Barbara, played by Russell Streiner and Judith O'Dea, visiting the grave of their father. When in the cemetery, Barbara is attacked by a pale, staggering man who knocks out Johnny and pursues her. Barbara seeks refuge in an abandoned house, and she soon meets up with Ben, played by Dwayne Jones. As they barricade the house, they meet up with several more people who hid out in the basement. With the aid of the radio and the television, they discover that Barbara's pursuer was a member of the living dead. Now they must fight to survive as more and more of those things begin encircling the house. I saw this movie for the first time in 5th grade. Outside, at night, being projected onto a bedsheet, and let me tell you, it scared me half to death. I couldn't sleep well for the next week or so. I watched it again recently, and though it didn't scare me as much as the second go-round, it was still really creepy. Keep in mind, this review might contain some spoilers. Romero knew what he was doing. Along with the shock of the dead eating the living, he did something also unexpected. He cast an African American in the lead role, something that was rarely done at the time. Dwayne Jones's performance as Ben is great. He comes off as a tough leader, even though you can tell he's just as scared as everyone else. Carl Hardman and Marilyn Eastman played the angry Cooper couple, two of the 5 people hiding in the basement. While Eastman's performance is a little weak, Hardman steals the show. You hate him the instant he steps in the frame, and it's apparent the only person he cares about is himself. You find yourself cheering the minute Ben punches him out. Keith Wayne plays Tom, and Judith Ridley plays Judy, a teenage couple. Tom's a pretty cool character, as he really wants to help Ben out, and he also chews out Mr. Cooper. But I find Judy to be weak as well as Mrs. Cooper. You can't tell if she's happy, sad, frightened, angry, sleepy, bashful, grumpy, dopey, or Doc. Yeah, that joke was lame. I apologize. But believe me when I say I wasn't too disappointed when she got killed off. Judith O'Dea, who I mentioned played Barbara, is kind of annoying. She's in a shock-like state throughout most of the movie after she sees Johnny attacked and left behind in the cemetery. But you gotta feel her pain when she witnesses her own brother trudging up the porch, now as a member of the undead. One reason why this movie can be so scary is because of the camera work and lighting. It gives the movie a realistic feel. There's a lot of crooked angles and close-ups with spooky shadow work and moonlight effects. This is why the black and white works so good for the movie. It makes the movie eerie. The Cooper's daughter, Karen, was bitten by a zombie. During the finale of the movie, the sickly Karen gains enough strength to attack Mrs. Cooper, in a now famous cut with echoey screams and close-ups of stabbing and blood gushing. It's freaky. This is a very well-written movie. The film depicts almost political dialogue as Ben and Mr. Cooper battle over who's in charge in the house. The newsreels from the television and radio do feel realistic. One thing I don't understand is when a crew of reporters is seen chasing some congressmen down the street, they don't seem too worried. I mean, wouldn't you be scared stiff to go outside if there is an epidemic of zombies? The now famous scene of Johnny and Barbara in the cemetery is burned into my mind forever. As Johnny playfully taunts Barbara as a part of an old childhood game, the suspense builds intensely. Johnny moans out, "They're coming to get you, Barbara," and Barbara retorts that he's ignorant. Ah, Barbara, if only you'd have listened. My favorite line is when a reporter asks a local sheriff, "Are these things fast moving?" The sheriff dryly replies, "No, they're dead. They're all messed up." Pure poetry. One other thing I love about this movie is the ending. It's dark and depressing and certainly not happy. Romero said, "This isn't like where the monster is destroyed at the end of the fairy tale. This is real life. Well, you may not like what he gave you, but it sure leaves an impact." The gore of the film must have been pretty intense for the time. It's nothing special now, but you see zombies eating what appears to be livers and hearts. Two zombies wrestle for a long string of intestines. You even see a zombie gnaw the skin and muscle off of a foot or a hand or something. Kinda yucky, but pretty cool. Well, to wrap up, this movie is a surefire masterpiece. It launched George A. Romero into fame and propelled the zombie genre. This movie was remade at least 3 times, once in 1990, a second remake in 3D, and a colored restoration of the film, but I bet none of them hold a candle to this. Romero would go on to make Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Land of the Dead, and Diary of the Dead, and Survival of the Dead, all due to this terrific start. I highly recommend this movie to any zombie nut, horror fan, or just anyone who wants to be spooked out. Night of the Living Dead. Man, even the title is awesome. Keep your eyes peeled for the next Halloween special and a new Stuck in the 80s.